Good afternoon, teacher Dino. My name is Jose Ceballos, and this is the video in order to make up for my absence in the class. I do appreciate and I want to thank you for being so thoughtful and to help and to guide me with the emails and to be always checking and answering it to me very thoughtful of your part, and I just wanted to thank you that and to say sorry of missing the class. I had a medical thing. I wasn't feeling well. I'm going to be reading. This is my handwriting. Those are my notes, bullet points that I wrote while I was watching the recording, because it's 2 hours long recording, and talking it without like a guide, it's going to be very difficult, and I don't want to start talking things that are not related to the class. Also, here I wrote the points you did mention in the email. Well, with that said, I'm gonna start. At the beginning of the class, just start commenting on the basic rules you did send in the email, but in case we didn't saw the email, you reminded us the rules of the course. You also give us some advices for us students. In those advices is not leaving any task behind, doing them on time, don't leaving them to the last moment, because last moment, like doing things in a rush is not good for anybody, neither for you or for us, because we don't do 100% well, and that brings bad grades. So we need to take it like slow and steady. So that's why we have plenty of time, plenty of week to do it, and we should not leave it for the last day, because then we rush, and when we rush we don't do it properly, and we get a bad grade. Talking about the bad grades, you did commented us about any complaints in the grades, that some students they never complain but till the last day, and you explained us that as soon as the grade is posted, we as students, as adults, we need to, and also by the rules of the Centro de Idiomas, we have 7 days, calendar days, to present any complaint. So we should not wait to last moment to ask for a grade past days, like you mentioned, like asking for unit 1 the last day, and that a lot of people they fail because of that, because they don't track it, and they don't follow a track of their grades. Apart from that, a classmate mentioned it about the practices. In the Pearson page we have it appears that you have practices, assignments, and the exam. The practices, what the name sounds, they are not graded. What is graded is the assignments plus the assignments plus the final exam. So this is what at the end appears in the USMA Lib and in the grade book of USMA. I think you also mentioned, I didn't wrote that, but I do remember that you did mention that it is divided into the assignment. It appeared in the grade book. For example, assignment 1, assignment 2, like it adds up, give a total, and that total is what you see in USMA as the grade of the assignment. So just to mention that. Well, you also called the attention of a classmate that was actually in the class. He was present, but he was doing something else. I don't remember if he was talking or something. He was looking something else, and you said that we should be in the class, not doing anything else. So it's important to pay attention. And like, nobody, you're not a police officer, and you did mention that in the class, and that we need to be in the class, or you can like take 10% of the grade of the activity. So well, after that, after answering some questions that circle around these things I'm saying that are more like rules, guidelines, because well, most of them they're already written in the email, but well, after that, you start commenting about the present progressive. People think that present progressive. No, I also thought that it's only for things that are occurring like in the moment. But the present progressive actually can include things that are going to happen, that are happening, or that may happen like very soon, but they are still in present, like they don't enter into the future tense. After that, we like there were some questions regarding this, and that brought us to bring examples of the concept, um, uh, in order to understanding in a better way. Then you teacher commented and told us the first activity, uh, that is areas in my field of studies I'm not happy of. I want to comment first that I study law and political science. I'm in fourth grade. I'm graduating this year. Things I don't like. I want to mention in the email you mentioned, like to mention, provide more examples. So I'm going to give you more than one example. The first thing I don't like about law in a general aspect, and actually a student mentioned something similar to it, uh, is that in this country there is a lot of bureaucracy, and the process are very slow in law, and it takes a lot of time to see what a judge, or to see what resolution came. This is because, well, we have a system that is very charged with daily cases. The infrastructure doesn't get better because of corruption and political things. But that's a thing I'm not happy of. Other thing they didn't mention is about the amount of lawyers and the amount of people that do law in Panama. We are a small country, so we need to well, they're actually starting it, but I support to make a filter in order for the best to be lawyers, and to have a competitive industry, a competitive work. So that will be the second thing I don't like about law. And the third thing of law is that sometimes you enter, like in my case, I started to study law because I wanted to follow some ideas regarding justice and all of that. Very idealistic, very romantic, or even poetic. But these things, they are not true when you see it in real life. Real courts, real judge are not as you thought they were, and are not as they seem in the books. There is a huge contrast between reality and what you as a student see in university, in books, in movies, in stories you hear. So that sort of thing I don't like about my career. Apart from that, I love my career. I don't regret studying it, and I'm planning to continue it forever until I die. But well, a classmate named Andrea Alvarado, she's also from law, I know her. She talked about the idoneidad. Don't know how to say it in English. It's the permit you have in order to practice law as a lawyer, not only as someone with a degree. That it takes time, and it's a similar uh, similar to what I presented, and this is also because imagine how many people graduate from law school per year. So and also the Colegio Nacional de Abogados, and also la Corte, the court, doesn't have the resources, or if they have it, they need to divide the resources in many things, and they by functionality is not proper to the amount. So it's a system we need to work on. Then we start seeing a video that was basically, that video is like the main focus of the class, that is about how to express wishes, past, present, and future. We focused mainly in the present and the future. The video was like 7 minutes long, and the teacher, you made like a lot of stops in order to develop and to explain the examples, the concepts, and that. But mostly, like all the class was circling this video. Well, the video first, like before the video started, like between the beginning of the video and the future, when the video started speaking, the future will be in this in the introduction of the video. Wish not only future something you want. The activity was to wish something, like what was a wish, and that it's not only in future. And here we mentioned a lot of examples. What was a wish for me? What was a wish for the classmates? For me, a wish is something that you want, but that you are not going to do anything for it. And I want to explain myself. I do believe that wishes are fantasy, because when you wish something, is something that in a way it's not real. I don't think it's the same as a goal, because when you have a goal in your life or something, you do things to achieve it. It's not a wish, because you are actually working to get it. And no classmate mentioned that, and that's what is for me a wish. That was the question to begin the video with, the introduction. I wanted you all to provide you with a quote of a very famous author, politician and lawyer of Spain. His name was José Antonio Primo de Rivera. He was assassinated in the Spanish Civil War, and one of his ideas, of his concepts, actually involved wishes. He was a very idealistic man, and he thought that wishes, ideas, are the motor of life of a human being, and we must fight for ideas. And when the ideas are the right ones, they are not wishes, they are a task and a duty. I think that's a interesting quote to apport to it. Well, when we talk about future tense or wishes, there is like in mathematics, there is a formula in order for us to use. This formula is the subject plus the wish plus the second subject and the could or would. The classmate Ramon Bellon, he said that past wishes is a regret. I'm commenting this because later on the class, you did make a stop in order to clarify it, because many people was confused with it. And I do understand that when we talk about regret, we are not talking about English language, we are not talking about a philosophical scenario. So that's what I think. I don't think like further explanation. A regret, it's a personal thing. I do understand that it might create confusion. That's why I'm commenting on it as part of this summary. Then, well, it was funny anecdote is that there was a screen mistake because we were not able to see the video, and I scared myself because I was like, okay, I cannot ask, like, I have the recording, but well, at the end it was just a screen mistake for some minutes. One of the examples of using the future tense is I wish I could fly. A very simple and easy example, but that you can use it as a guideline, as a guide to future examples. The classmate Sophia asked that when you use would or could is something you can't do but want to, and would is more like a fantasy. Not only the classmate Sophia mentioned that, but it was like a very common thing to be mentioned and commented on. For me, I do support it because when you said could is something that is something that you can't do but you want to. You did mention, teacher, the example of the right and left hand when you were entering to Harvard. In a case you were entering to Harvard, if they needed like a right-handed but you were left-handed, you could say like, oh, I wish I could write with my right hand, like something you would like to. And would is more like a, you did mention the example of Panama. Snowing in Panama, it's not probabilities, but it's something I want. I want it to happen. And could, it will be I want to do it, but not a possibility. Another classmate asked again if it was a possibility, but not. It's not a possibility. It's just it's not about possibilities. It's more about what you want or want to do or want to happen. That's what you need to ask yourself when you are going to use could or would in the future tense. Then we go to present. Present also have a formula similar to future. It will be the subject plus the wish plus the second subject plus the past tense. It's a little bit more complex than future, but it's similar, and we also did examples of it later on. I'm going to comment on them later on. You can't use could in present because then that will be a grammatic error. You mention it because there is people that use mistakes words, but in a social way they are accepted. For example, you mentioned the habemos when the news here in Panama or in countries that speak Spanish, they say like habemos tantas personas. I have heard that word, and maybe I have used it in my common normal life, and I do understand it, but yeah, like when you go to the roots of it, it's incorrect. Grammatically speaking, it's incorrect in Spanish. And in English, we have a similar case that is, I wish I was. It's not. It's a mistake. Like you can, like, they will understand you. I'm sure if I call my aunt that is from Texas and I say to her, I wish I was, she's going to understand me. Like, I assume that she's not going to say anything to me. She's not like to correct me or something. But in an academic way, it's not okay. It's, for example, when you write in English common, some people just write the C and the MON, common. It's a very informal way, but it's the colloquial way of talking, and that happens to every single language. In Spanish, for example, I don't know, words words that are like, you will not find them in a dictionary. So that's one thing that we need to be careful of. That is very common to listen to them and get confused in English. Another examples I have here is, I wish I had more money. Right, like, I have money, but I wish I had more. Like, it's in a present, but like close future present tense. It's not a distant future, it's a close future, so it's a close future / present. We wishes we were at the beach. That's another example. I wrote down the ones the teacher commented on. Another thing you commented was, again, following the line of the habemos, because it was that's a social construct. You commented and told us the story of the queen. That was very interesting. I searched it, and it seems it was true. and it's a very interesting story. That is that the nobility, they don't go to markets near supermarkets or do things as the rest of the mortals do. That's why I am a Republican, because I think monarchy is from the past and we need to move forward, both with monarchy and with right and left wings. Those are things from the past. We need to move on in life. But when the queen went to a supermarket in order to, like, destroying the protocol, the royal protocol, somebody asked her, like, Queen, is that you? And she answered, yes, it is me. Grammatically speaking, is incorrect. It makes sense if you listen to it, and for an English native speaker, it is going to make a lot of sense. But grammatically speaking, and following the rules of the English Academy, the British English Academy, and as you teacher taught us, the correct way to say it is I. So it's interesting. I didn't knew that. I didn't know we could use that, like, it is I. But well, then the classmate Josephine provided an example. She commented if she was right with this example. I want to be nice. It's not a complex example, but as soon as I heard it, yeah, I was like, yeah, it's right. And then you told her, like, yeah, it's well written, it's well said. So yeah, I wanted just to comment it. Where is singular. You also commented that to us. Also, my classmate Aaron, he didn't understand properly the difference of could, was, were, and you provide a very interesting law example of I was and I were, but using an example of appeal, when you appeal and they give you a time. And that's a very interesting example you provided, because yeah, you can use was and were with the, how can I say it, with the times the sentence is taking part of, as in it was a court. So yeah, after that we came for the other activity. That the other activity was to express a wish in present future, not an area of studying or of working. Like in my case, it cannot be a wish involving law or political science. You have to do something else. Then we got 5 minutes break time in order to think, in order to develop the examples. Well, I was like during that time the recording, following the recording, I took also that time to write some examples. In present, I wrote, I wish I had more free time to read more poetry. I also, because I love poetry, that's why I chose it, and it's not an area I work or study. It's more an area I do, but in case it doesn't follow the instructions, I will change it to, I wish I had more time to play basketball. I don't do sports. I wish she were, but I'm not sure if it will be were or was. I wish she were with me. I wish she were here with me. That's an example also. I wish it weren't so hot. I'm not sure if the correct way will be, I wish it wasn't so hot. But when we say wasn't, I'm not sure if it will be in a, not in a present, but in a future. So that's a question I'm asking you, because it wasn't clear with me. And in future tense, I thought, I wish it would stop raining soon. I wish it would stop raining soon. Those are the examples. I use it with the formula that I commented before. After that, the class start participating in the in providing the examples. Here I wrote some of my classmates' example. Josephine, classmate Josephine, she commented, Olga wishes Deborah had more time. Well, that's an example that I think is right. Also, after that, classmate David, he said, Sophia wishes there would be, but he misses the second subject. He misses the second subject. So it was an incomplete example. The incomplete example, you then specify and talk to us the importance of the second subject. Because if you miss the second subject, then we are doing other activities, or we are doing another structure that's not the one we are practicing in. The video by itself, I did like it, because in my opinion the video explain it in a very easy way, so that everybody can understand it. It provided both the example, the structure of the example, and the concept, how it was used, the how to say, the structure. It will be the tense. So the tense, no, I'm sorry, I don't know how to say that word, but I think you understand what I'm trying to talk and to explain. Apart from that, basically that's what we cover in the activity, in the class. For me, the most important thing of the class was actually both formulas, the one for future and the one for present. The thing that confused me a little bit is, in order for the past the past wishes, not the thing of regret, but more the structure of past. I'm not sure if it's exactly the same. I would like to check the video again in order to see if the video doesn't contains something else regarding past, because we didn't mention much of the past tense of using the wish structure. The only formulas, if we can call them formula, is the one of future, that is subject plus wishes plus second subject, the could and the would, and for present the same structure but with past tense. That was how it's grammatically correct done. And then in order to conclude the class, the last minutes, you commented us the unit 3 deadline. That I don't know if like how it went, but I do imagine that this rule applies in order for the future activities, unit 4 and unit 5. And following your advice of doing things for time. And the last thing you commented before ending the recording session is that the grades, after we turn in that the grades after we do the assignments, that deadlines are always in Saturday. Saturday I think is the deadline. By the latest we can see the grade is on Monday after 2 p.m. That's more or less the time. And a very important thing I forgot to mention was the final exam, that it has an assignment date, and that date cannot be changed, that there are 3 courses, 3 groups, but with you, like same professor, 3 groups, and that we really need to check the exam, the final test. It's going to be like we need to go and do it in person. It's going to have, I think you mentioned 2 sections, writing and listening. I'm going to check the instructions in the email. They are all in the email. I'm going to check them in order to study and do it. And well, as a final conclusion regarding not for me what's a wish, but the importance of knowing this is because many time we speak in a improper way the English language. We don't practice it, and we are used to talk with friends. And you did comment something of that when you were saying the example of the word habemos. We talk it in an improper way, and we think we speak English, while in reality we are using it. We are using the language in a bad way. So it's important to know the right grammatically, and knowing the future and present is important, because in that way when we write we can elaborate a good structure of the language, and elaborate a good structure in the language and talk and speak it in a correct way, not necessarily fluent, but with a good structure. Well, with that, I do believe that's mostly all of the class. I'm looking forward not to miss the other class. I'm not going to miss neither of the other 2 classes, and yeah, that's mostly it. Professor, again, sorry for my absence, and I'm looking forward to see you in next class. So thank you very much for everything.